As the leader of opposition, I strongly disagree with all of the proposition side's arguments, and I will explain that their points actually are in our side of the house. So, here are my statements. First, I will state my first rebuttal and I will link it with my first argument. So, the proposition team carelessly assumed that most of top-down historiographies are just talking about like the superpower mega influencing world-class leaders. But the fatal point that they proudly stated is that they said majority of these top leaders actually could reach that position only because of privilege. The Prime Minister underestimated those critical figures as if they were just sitting behind a castle enjoying the privilege they got from their parents, like they just said a few things and did some minor acts, and then boom, they became the main figures of a historiography. The opposition team were generalizing it and like applied that theory to every historiography, every figures that exists. This really, truly, deeply harms the main point of history. The generalization they have done actually violates the pride, the reputation, the existence of like all of the people who are considered as heroes by the history. Okay, they might say like some of top-down historiographies are controversial because they glorify some figures with sweet lies. For example, like the bad sides of Indonesian revolution heroes that are never mentioned in history. But not all of top-down historiographies are like that, right? We must stop the irrational act of generalization. There are a lot of historiographies that actually contain facts and motivation and untold stories about the world that are so important. And now I will link it to my first argument. Now, let's think about it. Could someone actually be a big hero and be inside various history books just because their financial power? Of course not. There are these leaders, governments, institutions that must really give like deep impact to the condition, to the conflict, and to the world so then people around the world and not just locally, recognize them and praise them and finally put them in history books. So, they really deserve their position. And now these people need to know about their story. Secondly, the proposition team said that bottom-up historiographies are easier to understand. I disagree with that. That is actually not true at all. Okay, bottom-up historiographies talks widely about the whole society, like minor acts, what actually happened throughout social groups that took actions and grassroots movement. It talks about all the facts that exist. So, it's complex and wide and deep. It also brings every point of view. Now, remember that the figures in top-down historiography actually also came from that complex society, aren't they? If not so, then from where? So, they are still very relevant and familiar to today's society. The big difference that we need to emphasize is top-down historiographies help summarize that complex facts from one specific point of view chronologically. So, if it's about teaching history to young generation, top-down style is simpler to understand yet still factual. It's really important now that we need to think about this, not that the status quo right now is that today's generation, the young people, young teenagers, the today's schoolers, students are not really interested in deep learning about history, which is so sad, right? If the history books are so complex, of course they will just be lazier to study it. And it must not happen because a nation must not forget their history. So we have to look for the ways so that today's generation want to do deep learning, deep searching, and like understanding their nation's history. And thirdly, top-down historiography actually do not squaring who is the hero and who is the villain. It's not that simple, like it's not black and white just like that. If there are any top-down historiographies that is like that, it's the crime of the writer, and it's not the fault of the existence of the top-down historiography itself. The interpretation about those figures and governments and institutions inside of the top-down historiography actually would be linked back to the interpretation of the society. From that, there should be more interesting discussion and analysis and critical thinking to understand every figure and every action and then every reason behind each of their actions. So it would increase the intelligence and accuracy and the curiosity of the nation. Because of those factors and reasons, I strongly oppose our motion today. Thank you.